So I'm Piku. I'm a junior at Northwestern. I'm studying journalism, and I'm on the board of directors for the student and family programs. Welcome to our first Hangout of 2015. So our Hangout with Wildcat Welcome series is something that we'll be hosting monthly starting for the summer. But we wanted to host our first one with you guys, our early decision students. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about what you can expect over the next few months, what you should be thinking about now, what your first year at Northwestern might look like, and just any questions that you might have, we're here to answer them. So remember, you can submit your questions by either tweeting with the hashtag WWHangout, or you can Facebook message us at our Wildcat Welcome page, or you can email us questions at wildcatwelcome@u.northwestern.edu. So before we get to questions, we're going to introduce ourselves. We are the board of directors for new student and family programs, and we are 10 upperclassmen who work really closely with the office to design programming that happens throughout the first year and also specifically with Wildcat Welcome. So let's do some quick intros.
Hey guys, my name is Brian Huebner. I am a junior. I'm a bio major, and I'm from Benicia, California, small town near San Francisco.
I'm Alyssa O'Neill. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I study social policy and psychology.
Hey, I'm Orko Manna. I'm from Libertyville, Illinois. I am a junior studying journalism and legal studies.
Hi, I'm Soa Marcelli. I'm from Ellicott City, Maryland, which is about halfway between Baltimore and DC, and I'm studying econ psych and creative writing.
Hey guys, I'm Evan Rosati. I'm a junior majoring in chemical engineering, and I'm from Levittown, New York, which is all online.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm a junior, and I'm from Dayton, Ohio, and I'm studying philosophy and economics.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex Chin. I'm a junior studying biochemistry and saxophone performance, and I'm from Fremont, California.
Hello, I'm Maddie Ambrose. I'm a junior studying theater from Deerfield, Illinois.
Hi guys, I'm Avi Verena. I'm a junior. I'm studying religious studies and global health studies, and I'm from Los Altos Hills, California.
Awesome. So let's get to our first question. And remember, you can submit questions throughout the night. So as a member of the class of 2019, what should you be thinking about right now?
Well, right now there's not too much to think about, but there are a couple of deadlines that are coming up. So the first one is on February 1st, which is in a few days. You need to submit your tuition deposit. And then also on March 31st, you have to submit your housing deposit. And then on the more administrative side, you want to go online and activate your net ID, which is kind of like your ID for everything electronic on campus, for everything like your class registration page, everything like that, and also your Northwestern email account. But other than those couple of things, there's not too much to worry about right now. Just focus on continuing to do well in high school and just start building up that purple pride until the fall.
All right, and if you forget any of those things, you can find them on our website, which is www.northwestern.edu/orientation.
Yeah, and just like as an ED student myself, I just remember I was so excited about Northwestern that there were times that I think I kind of missed out on my last semester of high school. So I think the biggest thing I would say is just enjoy your time with your friends and your family. September's going to come a lot faster than you think it is, and when the regular decision students are admitted and are on the Facebook page, there'll be a whole new surge of purple pride. But for now, just make sure you enjoy your time with your friends.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So next question. Does anyone want to touch base on what does summer look like for new students?
Yeah, I can do that one. So you guys got an email a couple of weeks ago, March to the Arch, and that's just this email full of information about what you should be expecting, what's coming up. And that email that you just got was a special edition, just for early decision students. But starting in May, you're going to be getting those once a month, and that'll give you more information just leading up to Wildcat Welcome, leading up to your time at Northwestern, which you should be getting excited for all summer. And also in May, you're getting this book, which is this really amazing guide called Purple Prep, and that's just going to have all the information you need with any placement exams you might need to take, information about this checklist items you need to get done for the summer, all that information. So just wait till May. For now, just don't worry too much about rooming or finding a roommate. Just enjoy your time.
Cool. And in terms of registering for classes, when does that all happen?
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of your other friends at other schools might be registering during their orientation programs, which may happen during the summer. But at Northwestern, if you don't know already, you'll be going through Wildcat Welcome, and you'll be doing your registration and all of your advising during that period. So don't worry about your classes until Wildcat Welcome.
Well, so speaking of Wildcat Welcome, what is that, and what can you students expect from that?
Can I talk about Wildcat Welcome?
Yes.
So Wildcat Welcome is not just orientation. It's not just Welcome Week, which is not a thing we say here. We say Wildcat Welcome. Wildcat Welcome means that you get to hang out with thousands of other Northwestern students, your entire class, and some PAs, which we'll talk about in a little bit. PAs are peer advisors, and they'll be with you throughout Wildcat Welcome. The programming during Wildcat Welcome varies. Some of it is academic advising with your academic advisor, individual advising with your PA and that advisor. Lots of different opportunities for you to look at classes and what your first quarter at Northwestern will look like. Your PA will help you through that, and that's a whole different process. And Alex talked about class registration, so you don't need to worry about that. And we do some really fun things if we do a class like tailgate or a class like gathering at Ryan Field, which is our football field, and we go see a game on Saturday. We do Six Flags, where Six Flags is open only for us, and the PAs and the whole new class of 2019 all go and just ride roller coasters at night, which is really fun. And we do some things we call ENUs, which stands for Essential NU. And those are structured conversations about important topics that we really value on this campus. Your PAs will lead those, but you and your PA group will talk about some things that are really vital to thriving here on campus. And I know I've been mentioning PAs a lot, so I think somebody else should tell you about what PA actually is and does for you.
I can talk about that one. Yeah, so as Alyssa said, a PA is a peer advisor. So essentially, they're just another Northwestern student that kind of knows the ropes and has been kind of assigned to a group of Northwestern students. Every new student will get one. And really, what we love about the PA is the peer aspect of it. There's not a sense of like superiority at all. It's just really a mentor and someone that is put there and assigned to you to kind of guide you through your first year at Northwestern. There are a lot of different challenges that you may face, and the PAs will be there for you throughout welcome and throughout your entire first year experience. And they're honestly amazing people, and we're so excited to get some of them.
Awesome. So what was some of the favorite things about your first year at Northwestern?
Okay, cool. So for me, my favorite thing about Northwestern was when I got here, I could do whatever I wanted to do. You know, when you're first year, freshman year, you have your entire undergraduate career. There's so many different student groups. You can try crew, some crazy awesome other stuff too. And you can just do whatever. You can take whatever classes you want. You're not required to declare a major right away, anything. It's really just a chance for you to explore whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll add on to that. One of my favorite things about my first year was actually Wildcat Welcome. And it wasn't like my year went downhill from there. No, it was just like, it was like a great way to start out the year where I had this nice framework of a support group of friends and my PA that really helped with my transition to college. I was so worried I was going to be homesick, that I was going to miss my friends from home and my family. But that didn't happen, and that was a large part of that.
Well, my favorite part of my first year at Northwestern was actually going to TEDx Northwestern. And so that came last year. I don't know if you guys know what TED Talks are. They're basically presentations which share ideas. And this happened at Northwestern last year, and there's students, faculty, alumni who all came and spoke, and I thought it was pretty unbelievable that there's so many brilliant people on this campus. They were talking about things ranging from music to identity to culture and anthropology, and not only that, there was many student groups who performed, a cappella groups, for example, and it was just a really good time to see the culture on this campus and to see how diverse and intelligent and beautiful this campus really is. And so that was definitely my favorite part of last year.
Awesome. So this question is for you, Emily. She wants to know, now that you've been at Northwestern for 3 years, what would you do differently about your first year, either before or during?
I can take that one actually.
Alright.
So for me, I came into Northwestern thinking like, oh, I'm like definitely going to do X, Y, and Z activity. I'm gonna major in this and minor in that, and I just had a very streamlined focus of that. So I would definitely say that my first year, I'll spend some more time just exploring and seeing like what I like to do, not just like thinking there's only one way to be a Northwestern student or what there's one way to be a college student. Just see what's right for you, and that's the only way to do that is just by dabbling, seeing what you like, and exploring.
Yeah, be yourself. Find your passions. That's really what college is about.
Yeah, going off of that, I think that's one of the most crucial aspects of your freshman year is finding your passions, because if you find what it is you love, there are so many avenues to pursue that while you're here. There's funding opportunities for research. There's clubs on clubs on clubs. Like there's just so many ways you can, really do what you love here, and it's pretty great.
You might not find what you love the first year, so I think the best thing is just to have a good time and make sure that you're fulfilling yourself in whatever way feels right at the moment. There are definitely things I didn't find I loved until this year, so you're always learning and growing here at Northwest.
I'm still like figuring it out. So.
We all are. Yeah. Awesome. So did any of you guys do a pre-Wildcat Welcome program? And if any of you guys did, would you like to explain a little bit about it?
So and I did the same one. We were both on freshman urban program, and that experience is really cool because it gives you a taste of what Chicago is like, where you kind of enter what we call somewhat affectionately the Northwestern bubble. Northwestern's great. It's a great community. We all love it here, and there's lots of things about it that are awesome, but it's easy to let that distract you from getting out into Chicago and putting forth that effort. So what that program was really good for was really teaching me what the landscape of Chicago is like, how to get around it, and really know what's going on in this like really vibrant, interesting city. And another thing it did was kind of made campus a little bit smaller for me. I came here from really far away and didn't know anyone, and it was just kind of in addition to Wildcat Welcome, another way for me to get a cross-section of campus of people I may not have met otherwise. So that program is really great, and I'm sure So can talk a little bit about what it was for her too.
Yeah, so I definitely 100% in agreement with Melissa about all of that, about the freshman urban program. For me, it was a really cool experience because I'm from Maryland. I didn't know anybody, and it was cool to connect with people on in a context that was outside of school before getting here. So we did a lot of service projects together. We did a lot of volunteering and while still exploring, and for me that was really valuable because now I can go into the city and not be completely lost, which is so helpful. But, yeah,
I did Project Wildcat before I got here, also known as P-Wild. That's the one where you spent, Pigu also did it. That's the one where you spent about a week in the wild with a group of students. 2 students have already been trained with P-Wild, and the other are 5 to 10 other students who are also entering Northwestern. And that was really fun and a unique way to meet at Northwestern. And people who are on my P-Wild trip are some of my best friends to this day. P-Wild also has a great community here on campus. But that said, any pre-Wildcat Welcome trip you go on or don't go on will prepare you just as well. Yeah, and just kind of as a refresher, there are a bunch of pre-Wildcat Welcome trips or programs, and they are Catalyst, Project Wildcat, for P-Wild, BUP, ASB, and there's a bunch of religious programs as well. And you can apply for these programs starting in the spring. And there's a page on our website as well that kind of lists all of them and all the opportunities and a little description of it. And about a fourth of the freshmen or incoming class will embark on a pre-Wildcat Welcome program. But whether or not you go on one, you're going to have an amazing Wildcat Welcome. So we just wanted to remind you again that you can submit questions through our 3 avenues. There's Twitter. You can tweet us with the hashtag WW Hangout, or you can Facebook message us at our Wildcat Welcome page, or email us at wildcatwelcome@u.northwestern.edu. But moving on to the next question. This is for Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
You wanted
Italy, too.
you wanted to know what was the hardest thing to adjust during your first year. So one thing I just want to say right off the bat is that Northwestern has an amazing amount of resources, not only peer advisors, but there's so many other people that you will be introduced to during your first week on campus. So it's an amazing opportunity to get to know this campus. But if any of you guys want to tackle that.
I think for me, I have always been really like independent. Like when my parents dropped me off, I wasn't really that homesick right at first. And I think one really important thing that I would have wished that I had known was that homesickness can come any quarter, and it's okay to ask for help when you need it. And like all of us have been saying, our peer advisors are really the ones to mentor us and guide us through that experience. So I remember coming back to Evanston from winter quarter and feeling like really sad. And I was like, what's going on? I talked to my peer advisor and she was like, you're probably homesick. So that was one of the biggest struggles for me freshman year.
And for me, like the smaller scale issues, I think just like general how to do laundry and how to get to my classes on time. I think the idea of just being completely independent didn't really get me until I got on campus and had to do these things by myself. So that was really interesting. But I mean, like you said, there's so many resources. Even for doing laundry, we have RAs and we have your friends can probably help you out with that too. So it's no big deal.
One thing that I sort of wish I thought about differently before coming here was that to be confident in my abilities. I think at a school like Northwestern, there's so many amazing people with so many amazing traits and qualities and talents that you can feel small sometimes. But just know that you are here for a reason. You are amazing at something and a lot of things, and that you just have to let yourself believe that you can do something, and then from there, anything is possible.
A little side note.
Side note.
Okay, fine. Well, a lot of us here are from California, and the adjustment to this coast-ish middle, I don't know. it's very different temperature-wise, and the winter is intense, but it's also really beautiful at times. When we fall in snow is always so exciting. And when it gets really cold, it's a new experience, and it's really not that bad.
It's lovely.
Yeah, it's good. But what I was going to say before is that I've lived in the same area my entire life. I lived in the same house growing up, so I was really used to having just friends there immediately who I was just really comfortable with to begin with. So coming here and knowing no one, that was a very different experience, and that made me really nervous coming in, just not having friends automatically. But I mean, it happens. It just happens organically. You're gonna find your people. It might take some time. It might take shorter or longer periods of time depending on who you are, but it works out, and now I'm really happy. So I'm glad that transition worked out.
Yeah, another big change I think is how your classes are structured from high school to college. Just how you have classes at different times during the day, but also the way that you have to think with a lot of your classes, because you can't always be super independent in your room. It's very important to ask for help, and that was something that my fall quarter, my freshman year, I had trouble with. And when I really started going to office hours and asking for help and collaborating with other people and doing homework with other people, that's when I started to do better. And I think that's really important to me.
Awesome. Cool, thanks guys. So the next question is a little more specific, but a question was submitted about the music program and whether or not it's more competitive or more collaborative, and I think not just with the music program, but I think this question applies to a lot of other programs. So does anyone want to touch on that and talking a little bit more about the community in an academic setting?
Oh, for sure. Well, to answer the specifics of the music program, just really quickly, I think being a part of the Bean School of Music has been such a humbling experience, and you can walk down the halls of the practice rooms and just hear all this, everyone's playing these really advanced excerpts and pieces, but everyone's so willing to come and listen to your playing and give you constructive advice that's not, negatively tinged. So I would say that Northwestern has been, I think, one of the most collaborative environments that I've been a part of. And I'm never afraid to ask anyone for help with my playing or with my schoolwork, like Evan talked about lots of hours.
I'm in the theater program too, which is somewhat similar to the music program. And I would say that I was really shocked about how it didn't feel competitive. Of course, there will always be people getting things and you not getting things, but it didn't feel competitive. It felt invigorating, and everyone is so supportive at Northwestern and wants everyone to succeed just as much as they want to succeed. So in terms of getting involved on campus and how you navigate that, because there's just so much to do here, how do you know? Like, how does that happen? Yeah, Evan.
I can take it. So, really, like in the question, there really is so much to do. So, there's multiple resources on campus that allow you to explore some of these options. Like there's an online source called Wildcat Connection, which lists all the student organizations. You can search in there in different categories. Also, during Wildcat Welcome, there will be some events that are associated with different organizations on campus, and then most likely after Wildcat Welcome, there will be an activities fair where all the organizations meet, and you can come and meet them, and you can talk to people in the organizations and sign up for their email list, and then go to meetings and see what you really like.
Yeah, and kind of going off of that, I would suggest just thinking more broadly at first about what you might be interested in. So are you more interested in like, service-based groups, culturally-based groups, religious groups, and then from there, just like not putting on one specific club, but just more exploring what's out, like what within that range of interests might suit you better.
Yeah, going off of what you said, so I think it's important to be able to explore and to like realize that you don't have to do the similar things you did in high school at college. It's a perfect time, if not the most perfect time, to explore and learn new things about yourself and try a lot of different things. And then from there, sort of have a baseline of all these different interests, and then sort of hone in on certain activities, certain clubs that you really want to be a part of for an extended period.
And definitely don't feel like you need to join everything your freshman year, because I joined new things this quarter, in fact, and it's exciting and new, and it's definitely a growing process when you find out what new clubs or new student groups are interesting to you. So don't feel like you missed out if it doesn't happen your freshman year.
And something I tell all my advisees too is that one of my favorite things about Northwestern is that it's really encouraged to apply for something again if you don't get it the first time. So I think it's a pretty common story to not get something your first time, but a lot of people try again and they do get it, and it's really encouraged and really respected at Northwestern, which was different for me than high school. Definitely. I think the most important thing is that it's a gradual process, and it's about discovering new things and taking all 4 years to figure out what you really, really love at the school, and not being afraid to try something new at any moment that you're here. So this is a little different, but how often do you guys go into the city, and in terms of Chicago, how do you get there, and is it accessible?
I can touch on that, because right now that's very real for me. I currently, I am doing a program through the School of Education and Social Policy that every student in my school does, but also other schools like the Middle School of Journalism have a similar program. Mine's called the Practicum. It's basically, instead of going to class, you go work at what we call a site, but it's just like an internship or a job at a site in Chicago, and then there are opportunities to go elsewhere, like during the summer. For me, I'm working at a place downtown. I'm working for actually the government, which is a cool, like, it's very weird to say, but that's like an opportunity I don't think I would have had otherwise if Northwestern didn't value getting its students the learning experience that Chicago can give you. And I talked earlier about how freshman urban programs like got me into the city at first and made me not as afraid to do that. But now I think like I go very often, and part of that is because Northwestern finds ways to help students invest in the resource that is Chicago. But I definitely do go for fun. It's not just work. It's also like play. Like one of my favorite things to do is I'm currently trying to go to every historic concert venue in the Chicagoland area, and there are a lot. But that's like a goal that I've had to complete in my 4 years here. And it's been really fun. And I'm like getting close. I've been to over 15. I think it's 15 or 16. But that's like something that's been like a fun like personal goal for me to do on the side or on the weekends. And things like that, I really encourage people to do because it just gets you out of, like I said earlier, the like Northwestern bubble. That it's really comfortable, but also it's needs to be explored.
And I will say, if you do have the motivation to go downtown and you want to go explore different places, we do have the Intercampus shuttle that can just take you from one of the bus stops on campus and right down to our Chicago campus. So that's
totally
free,
yeah.
which is amazing. And then there's also the L that's really close, like a really short walk on campus. It's also really short, which is wonderful. And it's kind of it varies for different people how often you went to the city because there's so many amazing things to do on campus that some people just might feel more motivated to like go see a show or something, but you always have that option. That's a really special thing about it.
Some of my classes actually require me to go into the city to see shows every quarter, which I think is a really exciting thing.
Yeah, for sure. And I would say Chicago is pretty accessible to Northwestern students in the sense that everyone is wanting us to go to events. For example, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, CSO, offers $15 student tickets for all of their shows. You purchase them like 5 minutes before the show starts because they're called rush tickets, and those are really nice because when you graduate, those are going to cost like $40+ but also, a cool thing that Northwestern has negotiated is that all Northwestern students get free access to the Art Institute. I went last quarter with my parents, and it was really nice just to feel a little more cultured, I guess, by looking at really abstract paintings. But yeah, so I mean, you'll find all these little life hacks kind of thing in Chicago because everyone really wants to interact with you.
Yeah, sorry. Just for me, like I love to like visit a city through the food. And I think Chicago's dining is like spectacular. I actually spent this past summer in Chicago, and I was able to kind of like branch away from like the Loop area, which is kind of more like and kind of go to the different neighborhoods in Chicago. So another cool thing that my friends and I do is that we like pick a restaurant that's like somewhere off the map, and we go there, and it's always so much fun.
Speaking about food, Kelly, hello Kelly. Kelly wants to know about food at Northwestern. So, food at Northwestern. So just talking a little bit about the dining hall options and whether the meal plan, how that all works, and yeah, food is great.
Okay, well, I love food in general, so I think I'll just like start this off. So when you come into Northwestern as a new student, you will have a meal plan. If you live in one of our residence halls or residence colleges, even if you don't, you can also have some options. So we have the 13 meals a week, which is 13 meals a week. And then we have 14 a week. And then there's the unlimited, which I did my freshman year. And let me tell you, it was amazing. So you have all those options. Then we also have really great like cafes and like restaurants on campus. We have Lisa's Cafe. We have Brand's chicken tenders are my go-to.
Sounds so good right now.
Also in our student center, the Norris University Norris Center, we have a Subway, a Dunkin' Donuts, a Starbucks, all these amazing options. For Terra Fresco. Yes.
We're really excited about food.
Yes. So someone else can talk about something else.
No, I don't.
Hot cookie bar.
Yeah, our campus food is it's often ranked one of the best in the country, different rankings. So yeah, it's pretty good.
And also, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say there's also a lot of dining options in Evanston, like downtown, what we consider downtown Evanston. If you ever want to get off campus and enjoy a meal, there's like literally any type of food you can do.
Excellent
With the
desserts.
walk card discount.
One thing, as a transfer student, comparing Northwestern to my previous institution, the food is so much better. Like, there's so many options. They have like vegan stuff, they have kosher stuff, they have like cool vegetarian, and like it's just so great.
We also
Like,
have their specialty nights too, which
Yeah.
is really cool. One time they invited on an entire night where the food was based off of the Titanic because there's a production going on campus. It was really cool.
That was Caribbean. And starving. I had some crab cakes there.
So something really cool that you guys may have heard about is this thing called Hot Cookie Bar. And It's hard to describe exactly. Basically, they take a big cooking sheet and put a bunch of cookie dough and cook it like halfway. So it's cookie dough that's really warm and it's great and it's like it's once or twice a week depending on the dining hall, but I love it. So good.
Very healthy.
Super healthy. Low fat.
Put the low fat ice cream on it.
Make yourself feel better.
Nuts.
Just like one update, I know Orco, so resourcefully told you about the dining hall meal plan, but that will be updated for your class. So we don't have the details yet, but you will have the information very soon. But yeah, moving on. Juliet. Hey, Juliet.
Hi.
You wanted to know a little bit more about the quarter system because the quarter system is unlike the semester system because it's a quarter system. So, what are your thoughts? Yeah, Avi.
Okay. So again, because I transferred to Northwestern, I have a very direct comparison of the semester and the quarter system, and I love the quarter system. It is definitely better than the semester system. It's weird, starting late when all your friends leave to college, and I understand that, and it's like, what am I doing? I'm still at home. I should be in college. But having 3 quarters is really fantastic because you get to take so many more classes than semester students. You get to explore a lot more. I've had so much more academic freedom at Northwestern, and I love that. That's a gift you really, you can't. I wouldn't trade for the semester system any day. It is, obviously it goes fast, and midterm season comes around really fast. But I think that's worth the academic freedom.
Yeah. And I just for me, I came in as a chemistry major my freshman year, and I actually spent my entire freshman year as a chem major, and then I decided to drop and switch to Boston Econ. And the fact that I can drop a major after an entire year and still take on a double major, and still I'm set to graduate on time is kind of another benefit. Kind of another benefit of the course system is just the ability to take some new classes and kind of shape your own kind of interests.
I think something I was concerned about is staying until June because I know a lot of other institutions get out in May. But actually, that's been one of the best things because the weather's so beautiful. All my friends are around. Everyone's so excited to be here. But it's actually so sad when I leave because I've gotten to spend all this time with my friends, all friends from home or have been home bored for a month and a half. Definitely love it.
Yeah. Cool. So quarter system rocks, and you should be pumped about that. We've got a lot of people asking a little bit about the residential experience, where to live at Northwestern, when that happens. First of all, at Northwestern, we call them residential halls, not dorms. So, yeah, go residential halls. But does anyone want to talk a little bit about what res life is like at Northwestern and what that community can be?
Yeah, sure. Oh, okay. So my freshman year, I lived in a residential college, which is themed. There are a couple of different ones in campus, but for my freshman year, I lived in International Studies res college, and it was definitely a really eye-opening experience because I didn't pick it as my first choice, but they had a lot of weekly activities. They had munchies from different cultures on Sunday nights. So things that I really wouldn't have experienced otherwise unless it were happening in the common room. So it's a really great way to kind of hone in on interests that you may not have had before, and meeting different kinds of people with different interests.
Yeah, I live in the science and engineering residential college, which you actually don't need to be a science or engineering major. We have people that are in the school of journalism and the school of comedy, the theater major, who lives there. But no, it's just a great community. These are great communities. Residential colleges are great communities where you can really find people with similar interests and really you can go to firesides where there are professors that come in to talk, and it's very casual. It's a great time. They have social events. We have our formal coming up in a couple weeks. We always have munchies and different party, Super Bowl party type deal. But there's also residential halls where most people attend.
Yeah,
so,
I can talk about residential halls. So I lived in a residential hall my freshman and sophomore year, and it's a little bit bigger than the residential colleges. They don't have themes. There's only more students living there, but they still have a lot of really great events. Like there's munchies, like free food on Sundays basically that brings your entire resolve together. And I lived in a hall that had kind of like special events. So like the faculty and residents who lived there with us would bring in professors and would like have like music nights in her apartment, and it was really fun. And there were like performances from all these groups on campus. So I think one of the coolest things about Northwestern is that no matter where you live, no matter what residential hall or residential college, you're going to find a community there. And there's like a lot of great opportunities to like, meet people. There's a lot of ways you can get together. It doesn't really matter where you live, you're gonna find people.
Definitely. And I mean, that's something that you'll be able to think about a little bit later. That selection process is something that you'll get more information about from the residential hall association, and they will be in touch with you. But moving on, so Joshua, hey.
Hi,
Josh. This is for you. So, speaking a little bit about people from warmer climates who come from the West, how did you cope with that? And in terms of getting cold weather gear, what are sort of ways to navigate that, and whether just kind of talking about that experience? I think something that I'm from California, and something I wanted to just point out is that you don't need to spend inordinate amounts of money on buying a really expensive coat or anything. I think there's so many options to choose from, and there are also so many people who are from warm weather places that you can always consult your friends and you won't be alone.
Also, I'll add that, like, being from California, at the same time, speak to the stores nearby, like where I'm from, didn't really carry the kinds of winter clothes that I needed in Chicago. So my best suggestion is to like maybe hold off on it until you get here, and make that selection in Chicago, just because where better to buy these cold weather places than the place where you actually need them.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say is layers. Like that's
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and even for me, I'm from it's not as cold. I'm from New York, so it's not as cold as here, but it's still very cold here, and you don't realize where, like, at home you sort of, walk out of your house, get in the car, and then go drive somewhere, and then get out. Where here you sort of have to walk to class or like walk to the shuttle stop. So you still need to like put lots in there.
Yeah. I think the one thing to remember is that winter is just another season, and it's beautiful, and it's going to be so much fun. You can build snowmen and make snow angels, and it's wonderful. But yeah, now a very real concern is the freshman 15, and so we've got a question about that, and we want to address it. So how do you stay fit on campus? How do we avoid the freshman 15? It's okay if it happens, but how do we prepare?
I can go for that one. So food is delicious. Like, we can all agree. That's so good. But one of the cool things on campus is that we offer classes, like fitness classes at the Henry County Sports Pavilion, and there's like a South Campus gym and a North Campus gym. So if you want to be active, you can be. And there's also just different student groups too that will there's like intramural sports you can do, just dance groups, anything that would be fun for you that would still help you stay in shape. It's there.
I was just going to say the other thing is you're walking to classes all the time, and I think you might not realize it, but you are burning calories as you go to class. And so you are just moving a lot all the time.
Yeah.
Also,
And,
like,
so I really love running outside, and like in the fall and the spring quarter, I just what better way to get to know where you're living than like run around in it. And there are so many really accessible trails like by the lake. I know Brian loves to run by the lake too, so you can like speak more on that. But I've spent so many I had so many great morning runs by the lake, and it's been a really great.
The best is running up to the Baha'i Temple. Yeah. It's really close to campus, and it's
not too close.
It's beautiful, and it's really, like Alex was saying, it's a good way to explore your surroundings.
It's also the only one on this continent, the Baha'i Temple. You can TV on it. It's really cool.
There's one on every continent.
I just want to say, just in general, the freshman 15, I think it's such a myth. I eat a lot, and I was on unlimited meal plan my freshman year.
Your metabolism is so high.
And no, but I just think if you just control what you eat, if you just like think about healthy options, and you exercise, you'll have no problem.
Yeah, I never are healthy options.
Also, I'll admit I did gain the freshman 15. No, I know, shocking, crazy. But I think that something that I realized is like if food made me happy sometimes, and I would rather be happy like with what I was eating than make myself miserable by counting every single thing I was intaking. And I think that there are ways to manage it, and I feel confident in my body still. So we'll figure it out.
And in the winter, under all those layers, of
No one can tell.
No one really can tell.
Let it go. That's true.
You're burning.
That's why Prince is let it go.
Next question. Anyway, so this is the last question since we are almost over. But what are the final thoughts, final pieces of wisdom that you guys want the class of 2019 to know right now?
I have one. Don't worry. I think that my biggest thing, over the 6 months or whatever that I was waiting to come to college, I had so many concerns and so many worries. And then I got here, and this school, and this university, and this community is so invested in making sure that the new students and transfers feel incredibly welcome and prepared. And so I think that you guys are in for one of the best experiences ever. To just sit back and.
Yeah, and I'll say, let yourself be excited. We're so happy that you're coming here, and you have so much to look forward to. I was, more focused over the summer and, before coming here about, logistics and all the things that need to be done. But honestly, Northwestern is such a great place to be that you should just let yourself enjoy where you are and where you're going.
With that, I would also say, college, and especially Northwestern, is what you make of it. Whatever you put in, you'll get a return, beyond the wildest dreams. That's what I found. Whatever you're given or whatever opportunity you're given, that can become something amazing if you just let it and you give it the enthusiasm. So I was talking about, you don't worry about too much, you just enjoy it, like Kevin's kind of saying. Early on, that can be investing in your PA group. That's a community that you're given, and you're given great opportunities to get to know them on a deeper level and have fun and rely on them and use them as peers and mentors, but also as friends who will be in class with them and things like that for the most part. So I think just really remembering that you need to invest in the people you're around, because Northwestern is smaller than you think, and you will see those people again. So it's always good to treat people, not that you wouldn't, but very intentionally with kindness and respect, because you will rely on those people later in life. And it's good to start thinking that way now, thinking about how can I build community, even though you're not on campus. The Facebook group is a great way to do that. But when your PA reaches out to you, get involved with that, get involved with them. They're going to be so excited to have you. The best thing that we could probably tell you right now is that Wildcat Welcome is going to be a great time to really throw all of that energy you're building up right now into something awesome and productive and welcoming. So we're really excited to have you.
Yeah, I always think that I always constantly remind myself, and I think you guys should do that. People always say college is the best 4 years of your life, right? And it's really not because of your midterms and finals and your homework that you take, obviously, but it's really the experiences you have, the people you meet, the things that you can do, the things that you can be passionate about. So really, when you come into college, don't always be so worrying about your grades and about taking these tests and getting to the next midterm, getting to the next problem set. Really enjoy your time, enjoy that experience, and make it the best 4 years.
Yeah, I would say live it in the present, live in the moment, because you're into Northwestern already. That's you. Really just love the time that you have here and really savor every moment of it.
Yeah, and I think one thing, the most important thing that I can offer is that you're not alone at Northwestern. I know a lot of us came to Northwestern not knowing anyone else, but just trust that the 10 of us, all the people working on Wildcat Welcome, and everyone at Northwestern in general is really rooting for you. Everyone's trying to support you in your journey to whatever you want to become. So just never be afraid to ask for help. There's so many resources like you touched upon earlier, and everyone's experience is so valid. And just trust that you deserve to be here, and you'll have an easier time doing what Alyssa was saying, and like making notes of your questions too.
Definitely. Thanks so much for joining us today. We weren't able to get to all of your questions, but we will respond to them individually. And just remember, like, obviously this isn't the first time that you can ask us questions. This is just the beginning. So contact us at the Office of New Student and Family Programs as questions pop up over the next few months, and we will definitely be in touch. We can't wait to meet you guys in September.
Yeah.